I messed up. I made a mistake. Actually, it was more like a series of mistakes that I made all at once, and I'm going to share it with you. Because I think as a reseller and someone who sources the way that I do, it's important to not only recognize the mistakes that you make, but understand why those mistakes were made in the first place. And luckily for you, it was me, the guy on the internet with a YouTube channel all about reselling, that made these mistakes, and you didn't, so you don't have to make them in the future. Hopefully you'll learn from my failures. Now, it's story time. So, I got up early and made my way to this estate sale that had a bunch of vintage toys featured in the photos, including one super rare piece, this vintage Mark's Haunted House toy. It's incredibly rare to find, and in good condition, it can go for well over $1,500. Unfortunately, this one was marked at $1,200, which was out of my price range, so I ended up leaving it behind, but there were plenty other toys here that I had my eyes on.
Some of the things I might know,
the one that was in that box was broken.
Got two Johnny West figures in the box right off the bat. There's more toys up here, if I remember right. Now, did you guys catch it? I just made my very first mistake of this sale, and it's a pretty easy one to avoid. Let's watch it again. I see these two figures in the box sitting on the couch. I see they're marked at $12 a piece. I pick them up and put them in my bag. That's it. And therein lies the problem. When I picked these up, what I should have done was open the boxes up to check the condition of the action figures. Yes, when I pick it up, I can tell the figure's in there, I can hear the accessories, but when I got home and finally opened the boxes, I noticed that the arms and legs of both the Chief right here and of Johnny West were both broken off, which is very unfortunate because in good condition, these are worth around $100 in the box. However, in the current condition, because this is a pretty normal problem that people fix, they are only worth about half that, around $50 a piece, which isn't all bad. Like, I'm still going to profit on these guys, but it's not as much of a profit as I was thinking. And on top of that, it's probably going to be a slower sell since they are broken. The ones in good condition will fly off the shelves. These ones are probably going to sit around a little bit longer. Not to mention, if this was some other figure that wasn't as collectible, it being broken in the box could have completely wiped out the entire profit margin, and I could have ended up wasting that $24 that I did spend on these two figures. So make sure you're opening boxes, make sure you know what you're buying, because that is an easy mistake to avoid. Now, moving back on over to the sale, the next thing I did was make my way to the attic because I remembered seeing a bunch of 90s toys in the photos, so I made that my next stop. Buzz. Some Polly Pockets. I got Sky Dancers. Oh, we got Molly. I don't know who that is. There's another Sky Dancer. Am I in your way? You can grab whatever. Just, oh yeah, go for it. No. I just don't like standing in people's way when we're not looking at the same stuff, you know? So as you just saw, I picked up a decent amount of stuff out of this little corner right here. I got that Buzz Lightyear, I got a Molly doll from the big comfy couch, but you also might have noticed that I didn't pop up comps for everything that I picked up, and that's because those were also mistakes. Kinda, and here's what I mean. So first up were these Polly Pocket castles, and Polly Pockets have a huge collector's market. They are worth some good money, and I've done very well with them in the past. These ones were priced between like $5 and $10 a piece, and I grabbed quite a few of them. However, unfortunately though, these are not actually Polly Pockets. These are like the knockoff versions from a brand called Trendmasters back in the day. They did a lot of like Disney princess stuff, meaning they are also not quite worth what Polly Pockets are worth. And again, this is something that I easily should have caught, because if I would have taken the extra 2 seconds just to look at the bottom of the playsets, I would have seen that it said Trendmasters instead of Bluebird, like all Polly Pockets should. All Polly Pockets from the 90s are made by Bluebird, and I probably wouldn't have picked these up. And as you can see, this one right here, the specific one, cost me $10, and it's only worth about 15. So I'm basically going to break even once this sells, and it's not going to be a fast sell either. And then moving on, the next things I picked up that were kind of mistakes were these Sky Dancer toys right here. I ended up grabbing like 3 different ones. All of them had the bases, and there were 3 different characters for each one. But I'm guessing they were not mistakes for the reason that some of you guys think they were. You see, you can't actually sell Skydancers on eBay because they are a recalled toy, and anything that's been recalled cannot be sold on eBay. When I was buying these, I knew I wouldn't be able to sell them on eBay and that I would have to sell them on a different marketplace. However, the reason this is a mistake is because I found out firsthand why they were recalled in the first place. So I was just playing with the Skydancer with my cat. She was chasing it around, and it exploded. Did that just blow up, kitty? Yeah, so I pulled the string on this one and it came flying off. Her arm flew off, her head flew off. I understand why these things were recalled because they are dangerous, man. That almost hit me. She's okay though. She was a little scared, but she's fine. So yeah, this thing literally exploded on me while I was playing with my cat. Luckily, nothing ended up hitting her and nothing ended up hitting me. I understand how kids were getting hurt with these things back in the day and why they were recalled. And that's why I'm chalking this one up as a mistake. So that is mistake number 3 for the sale. Anyways, now let's get back to the sale. After looking through those toys there, I ended up making my way around the attic, looked at a few more things. There were actually quite a few board games here that were really old and pretty cool, like the Slugger one right here. I thought about grabbing this, but it didn't end up having all the pieces. I did open this one up to check, but I did end up grabbing a few more little small things. I found a couple more Trendmaster play sets that were Disney themed. I grabbed this Power Ranger morpher out of this big bin of toys. I also found a few plush animals that I wanted to pick up. There were some Power Rangers ones, Animaniacs. There was some pretty cool stuff inside this house. But the next thing I want to talk about was actually not a mistake. This was a big win because this thing is awesome. It was downstairs back on the main table in front of the cashier, and it is this mood light right here. I had never seen one before, but I did look it up before I got to this sale, and they are pretty cool. This thing is from the 70s, and it's a light bulb, but inside the light bulb there are like plants growing out. Like it lights up as a flower or a rose and stuff like that as the actual filament in the light bulb. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm pretty sure my girlfriend and I are going to keep this one to display in our house some way. We'll find a lamp or something that makes it look really cool. It's just a nice, cool display piece. But these are a huge bolo because when I looked this up, it turns out they sell for around $70 if you can find them. But apparently, they are pretty rare. I could not find this specific one anywhere on the internet, but I did find a few other ones that had sold in the past between $75 and $100 for a single light bulb. So definitely be on the lookout for these. This one was not a mistake. But yeah, after that, I got a few more little small things here and there, nothing crazy, but I didn't see anything else really worth grabbing, so I ended up calling it there, and my total ended up being right around $100. Which I do think is a little high for the quality of stuff that I got at the sale, but once again, that is because of my mistakes that I made throughout this video. If those Johnny Quest figures would have been in good condition, and it had those Trendmaster toys been Polly Pockets like I thought they would, my profit margins probably would have been better on this, but because they weren't, because I didn't do my due diligence, and because I made those mistakes, I'm going to have less profit on this sale, and honestly, it's probably going to take me a while to make my $100 back on this stuff. Which at the end of the day happens to everybody every once in a while. It doesn't matter who you are or how long you've been selling, you've probably made a mistake here or there every once in a while, and this was one of those cases for me. However, what weren't mistakes were the pickups from my last estate haul video. I picked up a bunch of those battleships. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it. They have already started to sell, and for some very, very good money. You can either check my eBay store or you can sit here, click that subscribe button, because my next video will be showcasing some of those sales. But for now, that's all I have for you, so I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did like this video, please go down below, smash that thumbs up button. Either way, I hope to see you in the next one. Till next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace.